Hi guys, this is Parcelforce Worldwide Distribution Centre, Manor Royal Industrial Estate near Gatwick, and I've been eyeballed already and I've been here 30 seconds. Well, I don't know if I covered this one in previous video or not. I think I did. I can't remember. For those of you outside the UK, the post office is now privatised. It was privatised about 3 years ago. This is how you can always spot where the corruption goes on in this country. When shares are issued like that, they're issued first of all to what they call the institutional investors. Now, institutional investors are supposed to be people that keep hold of the shares long term, to invest money into the company, and to obviously keep them for the long term. They're given preferential rates, and I can't remember the exact figures, but for argument's sake, say the shares were issued to institutional investors at say £6 a share. When they go on public sale, generally what happens is the price skyrockets, and it did skyrocket, and but that's when the public can start buying them, after they've skyrocketed it and all the financial institutions got to buy them first. Now, some of them have kept hold of them long term, but one company, Standard Chartered, now if anyone's a Liverpool fan, Standard Chartered are their sponsors of their shirts. Standard Chartered sold theirs and made something like a £70 million profit in the space of like 2 months. So there's your institutional investors for you. Now, did the FSA, the Financial Services Authority, the Financial Conduct Authority, look into them at all? No, they didn't. They fuck. So that's what it is. It's like whenever financial companies do anything like that, they're too big for anyone to fuck about with. So that's why the police don't go after them, the Financial Services Authority don't go after them, nobody does. So that's what that's all about. What else are we going to talk about? Oh yeah, someone mentioned, I keep getting comments and messages regarding Brexit. Now, I don't think personally anything's going to change. That's my personal opinion. I don't think anything's going to change really, because the EU are not going to stop the free movement of people. Now, they're not going to change the customs union either. So if we don't change any of these things, then the whole vote was for nothing, because you're just going to end up with exactly what you had before. So there's no difference in that. We'll keep the pound and we won't use the euro. We'll still be in the customs union. We'll still have to agree to free movement of people. Whether we have control of our borders or not's irrelevant, because there's already a customs union and it has been in place since the fucking 70s. Do you know what I mean? So you can travel anywhere in Europe. I've done so on my motorbike. We went to France, Holland, Belgium, Italy, and the only place I've ever had to show my passport was getting into Switzerland. So, and that's another story in itself. So, so that's that. I'm gonna just turn this around so that's better. So, so that's that on Brexit. My personal opinion is that Brexit, the only people who really want Brexit are the financial institutions, because basically what's happening is European legislators want to bring in tighter regulations on the banks and the financial industry itself. Now, because of that, it's the City of London that want Brexit. It's them that want it, because they want to get away from any type of regulation, full stop. and it's been done a million times with the banks and everything. It's also, now when I say City of London, I don't mean Greater London, the actual city itself. I mean the square mile. It's called the square mile, and it's actually known as the City of London. And it's actually got its own voting system, its own police force. It's I think it's only something like 1,400 or 1,500 actual residents that actually live in the City of London. So, and it's kind of like a little law unto itself. And that's where all the financial institutions have their bases in the UK, inside the City of London, because it regulates itself. It doesn't want to be regulated by an outside body, and least of all the European Union bringing in tighter regulations on the financial system. So that's that. They want Brexit because they don't want to be regulated. It's as simple as that. So Theresa May and all their cronies can bang on about leave and remain and this and that, and it's all bullshit. It's all directed by the financial system for their own interests. So that's Brexit covered as far as I'm concerned. But, and I'll tell you about the City of London as well. There's a guy called Roberto Saviano. So it's boiling over here. It's in the middle 80s. We're not used to it in this country as well, because it'll drop by 10 degrees in 24-hour periods. Tomorrow it could be 20 degrees and it'll feel cold, and then the next day it's fucking 30 again. So it's a bit mad. But Roberto Saviano, you can look him up on YouTube. There's loads of really good interviews with him. Now I watched what it was Roberto Saviano actually investigated the Neapolitan mafia and their ties to politicians, and how the Neapolitan mafia was setting up front companies to win contracts from these dodgy politicians. So everyone's obviously getting a kickback out of it. So Roberto Saviano, as investigative journalist, started looking into the ties between the Neapolitan mafia and the government, and some of the government officials as well in the Italian parliament. So anyway, after some research, he realised, he started to expose it. He exposed it in a book he wrote, and ever since that book came out, he's basically not spent. It was just over 10 years ago, I think that book came out. But he's not slept in the same place for 2 nights, longer than 2 nights. He's constantly on the move because the mafia are after him, basically. Anyway, in an interview he gave to, I think it was I think it might have been Channel 4 actually. In an interview he gave, he was asked who he thought the most corrupt country was. And he said, without hesitating, the UK was the most corrupt country in the world. So you might be shocked at that, but if you watch the interview, and I'll explain it, because basically what he's saying is it's the UK, the City of London, and all the territories which are tax havens are all UK territories. They're all, criminals hide their money there, banks hide their money there. HSB got done money laundering on no less than 4 occasions. And not just money laundering for anybody. They're money laundering for Colombian drug cartels, Mexican drug cartels. This is fucking a major British institution laundering drug money, and they're doing it through the Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, all those territories, those offshore territories. And that's why he said that the UK was the most corrupt country, because of the financial system being so corrupt that, no politician's got the balls or the wherewithal to go after these people, and that's why the City of London want to sort of regulate themselves. They've been unregulated for so long anyway. They're so used to doing things their own way and getting away with it, and they don't want to be regulated. So yeah, he said the UK was the most corrupt country in the world because basically, off the back of this tax haven shit. So that's that one covered anyway. I'll do another story a bit later in the week. I'm still researching it, but that's a really interesting story. It's the rollout around the UK of smart meters into every home in the UK by 2020. Why they seem to think they've got to do it within a year and a half, I don't know. But they're spending £11 billion doing it, and it's going to serve absolutely no purpose whatsoever. And I'll explain it all when I've finished doing the research on that. But it's basically a fucking scam. Right, we're going to do a bit more video here and then we're going to mosey on off somewhere else. So I'm getting funny looks off the drivers as they're coming in and out. I don't know if they're going to go in there and report me for whatever reason. So I'm using the tripod again today, and I don't think I've set it up quite as well as I could have. Is that Donald Trump? Looks like him. He's got a big mouth. Here we go.
Oh, mate.
How you doing?
Alright, yeah?
Same shit, different day.
Yeah, just a little bit curious what you're doing. The people have obviously seeing that you're filming and taking pictures.
Yeah, it's not illegal, mate.
I mean, it is when it's the advertisement, right?
For an advertisement?
Well, we've got all our logos and that in the screen and that.
Yeah, I know, that's why I've got to get it in.
What is it you're doing?
I'm doing a piece to camera. Do you know what that is?
No.
Do you know anything about photography?
No, mate.
No. You ever watch the BBC News?
Yeah.
And they're doing a report, say, outside the High Court?
Yeah.
And the guy's standing in front of the High Court?
Yeah.
That's called a piece to camera. So if you'll turn this around, I'll show you. If you stand over here with me. So in the background you can see parcelforce and blah blah, and I'm doing a story about the post office.
Okay.
So I can do that piece to camera with all these stuff in the background.
Okay. Right, I have to look into that one because I'm not too sure if you're allowed to without any permission.
Right. I'll tell you what. I've been a photographer for 30 odd years, right?
Yeah.
So,
I'm not denying it. Obviously, we've got some colleagues here. They're a bit curious.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't mind people
know,
coming out and speaking to me.
Yeah,
it's not a problem.
course. Well, obviously, I'm going to have to look into it if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, it is. As long as I'm on a public place, which this is, then I can take photographs of anything I can see from that public place. If I was to come onto your property,
I understand that.
Then you probably have rules and regulations about what I can and can't photograph, and I'd have to abide by those regulations.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having technical faults. So that's that. Yeah. As long as I'm in a public place, I can do pretty much what I like. As long as I'm not breaking the law.
I'll have to look into that, obviously. You don't mind.
Yeah. Just Google it. Google search public photography. Actually, no. Better still. Yeah, I'll show you something. I might have it on me.
Can we ask you why you're doing it?
I'm doing a piece to camera. I'm an independent journalist.
But why parcelforce?
Because I'm doing a story about the post office.
Okay, but the post office and parcelforce are different companies.
Yeah, I know. They're kind of one and the same thing.
No, we're independent. The company's been privatised for quite a while now, so we're individuals. So parcelforce.
Yeah, they might have separated the companies for tax purposes, probably. Because before it, post office and parcelforce were one and the same thing, weren't they?
But that was a long, long time ago.
Yeah, but it was privatised about 4 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we've never been part of the same company. It's always been separate. We've never been the same.
Still individual companies.
We're still individual companies.
Yeah, but they come under the same umbrella. Well, it's irrelevant anyway. So
So
I haven't got it on me. If you search ACPO, which is the Association of Chief Police Officers, Guidance on Public Photography, and it will list everything there.
But what are you trying to gain from doing this today?
I'm doing a story about the post office.
Okay, and do you think
parcelforce.
So you're just going to be filming it, so you're not looking to speak to anybody?
No, I don't need a statement or anything like that.
Right, come this thing.
All right. Yeah, just if you check that, it's the Police Guidance on Public Photography. It's issued to all police forces in the UK.
Okay, no problem.
It's called ACPO 2010 letter. No worries, mate. If you have any other questions, let me know, mate.
Okay.
well, they were all right, really. But it's a fail as far as I'm concerned. Not been on the property. Public footpath I'm on right now. So I'll show you. Just walked all the way up here. Just like I said to the guy, you know, at the end of the day, if I'm on a public place, and I'll show you where it's basically kind of the same as in the US. I'll just show you right next to me, right next to us here is our lamppost, which has got, and you can see there, West Sussex County Council. So we know we're on public property. Simple as that. Some of the UK guys, you might want to just note that actually on the video, just say to them, yeah, look up the ACPO letter. Simple as that. It's it doesn't get any better than it's from the police. Do you know what I mean? That guidance comes from. So anyway, I'm gonna do some more shots, mooch around, and then get on to another. Try and get on to another one. I've got time. Ooh. Right, well if anything happens I'll fire the baby back up. If not, I'll see you all soon.